Cool. All right. Philly, you're up.
Okay. Oh, let me see here. Who do I have for Philly? Okay. All right. You know, here's a position where I could see them going. Man, okay. The pick that I made for them is still on the board, and in the interest of time, I'm just gonna stick with it.
Yeah, hit me.
I see them eventually going wide receiver. Oh, man, it makes too much sense for them to go wide receiver, though. Oof. Where's their next pick? Oh, man, I wish I had this one locked and loaded. Give me a second to look at their next pick in the draft.
We're going to go a little past 7. I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so they don't have another pick for another 21. I'm actually going to go against my mock draft here. I had them originally taking a linebacker, but I think they'll be able to get a pretty good linebacker later on as well. I think that they are going to take, and this isn't my guy, this just seems like a Eagles kind of pick to make, seems like where the board might fall. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver out of LSU.
Interesting. All right.
I think I don't know how much they see wide receiver as a weakness, as a position of need, just because they have Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson coming back from injury. But they traded away Nelson Aguilar. Just seems like a big position of need. They traded for Darius Slay, so corner is not as big of a need. I think if they don't go there, they go with the next linebacker on the board. Leave him there. And I also think that Philadelphia is looking at Minnesota. They're looking at maybe New Orleans behind them, thinking, hey, some more wide receivers are going to come off the board. If we don't get one here, there's going to be a run at talent between now and the second round.
Yeah.
So, they drafted Aguilar around this position 5 years ago, maybe. So there's some precedent there, but we'll see.
Yeah. Hot Chocolate Baptism is an Eagles fan. He thinks they're going KJ Hamler in the second. I'm not a huge KJ Hamler believer. I'm not a full skeptic on him. He just seems like he seems slightly too small to actually make it in the league. Yeah. I think I'm not 100% on that by any means.
Hot Chocolate Baptism. Who do you have the Eagles taking here? If the board falls the way it does for us here. Whenever you feel like answering that question, but I could see them going linebacker here too, but I want wide receiver.
Yeah. So did you have them going Kenneth Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fair. In mine, Patrick Queen had fallen this far, and it was like a match made in heaven. I dropped Patrick Queen to them.
Sure.
Yeah. I think Justin. I don't see it with Justin Jefferson the way other people do. I like Jalen Reagor more. I think I might like Denzel Mims more.
I like T. Higgins more. So part of it is me being like, I want T. Higgins to go to one of these fun teams that made the playoffs last year, So,
but but I think Philly's gonna make the playoffs this year.
I mean, yeah, but what I mean is like the later you go, the better the teams get, and I want to see T. Higgins play on a good team.
Right.
The Eagles are a good team.
Again, I was going to say, I think the Eagles are a good team. I picked them to win the Super Bowl last year, and they weren't close, but I don't feel that dumb for thinking so,
Right.
I think they're a decently solid roster that has only gotten better over the offseason.
Yeah. Okay. Minnesota via Buffalo. So this is the pick that they traded away. They get in return for Stephon Diggs. Buffalo picks up Stephon Diggs, gives Minnesota a first-round pick in addition to a couple of other picks.
Yeah. So I have them
Minnesota, who you got?
I got them going Christian Fulton.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
So Christian Fulton is like, from everything I read, a schematic fit for them. I'm not super familiar with the Minnesota. Let's see. How their scheme works, but basically it seems like they vacillate between man and zone a fair amount, and Christian Fulton is capable of doing so. He's a weird guy because on like PFF he has like the second highest rate, like the second highest coverage rating, But then also gets beat at a higher percentage of time than other players. So it's like he's like either they're not catching it or it's going for a big play seemingly. I think they take him. I think they say he's got coverage skills. We trust Mike Zimmer to coach whatever flaws he has out of his game. And they just they need it, man. Their defense got decimated this offseason, and they need all the talent they can get. I almost had them double dipping at corner here. I don't think I ended up doing so, but it was this close to doing so. Yeah. Christian Fulton, that's my pick.
Who even is the Vikings? I'm looking at the Vikings depth chart now. Okay, so they have Chris Boyd and Mike Hughes at corner. Who knows? No more Trey Waynes. No more the other guy.
Xavier Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes. I was going to say Xavier Woods. I was like, that's not it. Xavier Rhodes. So
I always mix him up with Xavier Howard. That's the Zave I always mix him up with. Right.
Okay, and Hot Chocolate Baptism does say Justin Jefferson would be the pick for him there.
Yeah.
And that Denzel Mims is scared of Philly. Okay. Christian Fulton, this seems like one of those picks where it's clear need, position of value, good guy on the board, lock it in, make it happen.
Christian Fulton, just based on his college production, strikes me as someone who might, in a redraft, might jump into the top 10. I think he might be a Tre'Davious White, something like that, where it's just what were we missing with this guy? He's shut down.
Yeah. Let's see.
You get to pick New England. Honestly, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, this is fun. I think you're right that he's off the board already, but AJ Epinesa seems like a good New England guy.
I have another guy in mind.
Good motor, all that on the D line. I wouldn't be surprised if they went right back to that position group and found someone else. Found a Yetur Gross-Matos out of Penn State.
Yeah. Is that where you're going?
I think that's where I'm going.
All right. Had I been in your shoes, I would have picked Kenneth Murray, I think. I think Kenneth Murray makes sense for them because they lost their off-ball linebackers as well.
They don't have Kyle Van Noy or Jamie Collins anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, let's give him Kenneth Murray. Let's do that. It's not locked in.
Cool. I'm also a bit of a Yetur skeptic. I don't know that he has the same history, and I'm sort of worried that it's just a matter of he plays in a uniform that looks similar, but I'm getting a little Ziggy Ansah vibes from him, where it just seems like people are projecting that he's a really good pass rusher because he looks the part and might not actually be an incredible pass rusher. Kenneth Murray is another player who when we went through the tape I wasn't blown away by. I prefer Patrick Queen to him. But he's just been productive for 4 straight years. I think it's hard to argue that he's been incredibly productive. He's really versatile, which is what does Bill Belichick value more than versatility? Nothing. Is an established leader, and has a couple wow plays a game that it's you probably will be a Kenneth Van Noy, or not a Kenneth Van Noy, Kyle Van Noy type player, where it's just I'm underrating how good you are because you don't your athleticism doesn't light up the screen, Yeah. I like that pick, as I would because I suggested it,
Yeah, you did suggest it.
Alrighty. Ooh, so
you got New Orleans at 24.
Yeah, so I had New Orleans going Kenneth Murray, and my reason was that they don't really have any weaknesses whatsoever.
Right.
And so I was well, what could be a weakness? And the only thing I saw was that Kiko Alonso has a really up and down history and is currently a starter for them. And so it was can we get at worst Kiko Alonso insurance? Or not at worst. Can we get Kiko Alonso insurance / someone to take over for Kiko Alonso going forward? So I had them going Kenneth Murray. I don't know. Do we think the Pats sign Cam or Jameis then? I think their quarterback this year is Cam, Jameis, or Jarrett Stidham. I don't think they're investing a first-round draft pick in QB.
I think that they're going to pick Jalen Hurts in the second or third round.
Yeah.
As a room guy.
I like that.
Doesn't seem like Bill Belichick to spend a first rounder on
a meh QB.
On an okay guy, you know. I think he's gonna take another project with less resource, invest fewer resources in another project.
Yes, agreed. I think that seems right to me. It's like this team went 9-7 with Matt Castle. I think they recognize that Tom Brady was a huge asset. I don't think they are like we have to burn all of our resources to find the next Tom Brady, particularly on like a QB who is probably not going to be Tom Brady. You know, I think they're like, we can win games with a mediocre QB. We've done it before. We'll do it again. Oh man. I don't know Gross Matos' story. Do you know Gross Matos' story, Jacob?
I know that he was involved in like a big time hazing dispute where he was like abusing underclassmen on the team.
Yikes.
But yeah.
I did not know that. Well, that makes me feel
I don't know a lot of details. So.
That makes me feel a little better for being skeptical of him then.
Right.
Oh wow. Oh, Jesus. Gross Matos' father drowned while saving him from drowning when he was 2. 9 years later, while clearing a little league field during a thunderstorm, his brother was struck by lightning and killed. Jesus, the poor guy. Well,
damn.
That makes me feel bad for feeling better about doubting him. That sucks.
Yeah.
That is like true nightmarish bad luck. And like that's like a gross understatement, but truly awful.
Yeah.
All right, so for New Orleans, they don't really have any needs. I guess. You know what I'm gonna do? No one's picked Jalen Reagor yet, have they?
No.
They're taking Jalen Reagor. They don't have any. They don't have any weaknesses. I think Jalen Reagor has real wide receiver, has like genuine wide receiver 1 potential in this league. I think he like is not gonna be considered a wide receiver 1 because he's 5'10". But it's like he has like a 44-inch vertical, so for all practical purposes, he's actually 6'2".
And I like the idea of Drew Brees' like high point rainbow balls being just plucked out of the air by a leaping Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, and I think his 40 was like a 4.4 or something. Like he's fast. I think he has genuine wide receiver 1 potential. If you put him across from Michael Thomas, I think like it's just gonna be dangerous. I really like Jalen Reagor. I think he is probably my wide receiver. If I were drafting, like if I were John Elway, I would probably pick him above Henry Ruggs, unless like that. Like right now, if I were put in his shoes, I would probably pick him because I am more certain about him than Ruggs. I don't think he will necessarily be better than Ruggs. I don't understand football well enough to see the ways that Ruggs is good beyond being a 4.27 guy, you know?
Right.
Whereas with Jalen Reagor, he just like lights up the screen. It's obvious. He's very good.
Hot Chocolate Baptism says, what a Game of Thrones ass name. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rager.
Absolutely.
Should we just keep it moving?